Hey folks, this is Dr. Combat 64. Apologies for not making a video in the last couple weeks. Just been working and been kind of doing some stuff, and I just haven't really got caught up with making videos as much. And there's no review. I want to get back to doing some top 5 stuff, but today I'm going to be doing a Bob Dylan collection. It's a mix of vinyl and CD. There is one cassette, and I believe I had reviewed the Bob Dylan Greatest Hits already the last couple months ago. I think I said in the video that I had the cassette version of it, but of course it was mixed with all the stuff or whatever, and still I can't find that cassette. So it was from I'm guessing it was probably from sometime in the 70s or whatever, when they issued it, or reissued it or something or whatever. It looks old. There is one Bob Dylan thing I've been seeking for, and it's been almost like this set's like almost like 10 years old now, but it's the Bob Dylan A Mono box set, which features the stuff from the 60s, except for Nashville Skyline, because I think that album was never featured in mono, and I really want to get my hands on it. I know it's kind of expensive, but I really want to, it doesn't matter the price or whatever, I really want to get my hands on that, and hopefully soon. It features his debut album, The Freewheelin', Times They Are Changing, Another Side of Bob Dylan, Bring It All Back Home, Highway 61, Blonde on Blonde, and I think it ends off with John Wesley Harding, which was the last album that was featured for any Bob Dylan album in mono. And apparently there is no Nashville Skyline, which apparently, hold on. So anyways, apologies folks for pausing that. There was one other Bob Dylan album I did have, and I just brought it in right now. So anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right into it. Just a few CDs. Apparently these two came from a box set, which I'll be showing in just a few here. From the Best of the Cutting Edge Bob Dylan, like most of the bootleg series. I got the one that had the 3 LPs and then the 2 CDs, which I'll show you right now. So here's disc 1. From him from '66 or whatever, and just features all the stuff from Bringing It All Back Home, Highway 61, and Blonde on Blonde. The thing is with this set, like, you don't get the because I know with some of the songs he kind of did, there's some like multiple, especially like a Rolling Stone. There's like the super deluxe version, which has like almost every single take of like a Rolling Stone. But Rainy Day Woman's not featured in this set for some reason. It's featured on the deluxe set, the 6-disc version of it, and they only did like 1 take, I think, of it, so that's why it wasn't featured on this set. And then here's disc 2, that's a really cool picture of him. And it starts off with Tombstone Blues and ends with Highway 61 Revisited. So really great stuff. I really like some of the alternate takes, like Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues. I think that was, it's kind of interesting to hear the alternate take on that. It's more of a slower version, and even Tombstone Blues. A lot of the stuff I do listen on there. Some of the stuff I kind of just skip, because some of it, there's some good stuff from him, and then some not so good stuff, so. And then just recently, from one of my Amazon gift cards I got for Christmas, I got Blood on the Tracks. Everyone talks about this album. This thing is like big, huge. The only song I know from this album is Tangled Up in Blue, but I really need to like listen to this whole thing. And of course the back, look at that. It's just really neat with the picture and stuff. It has the Columbia replica, of course, on the CD, whatever. I think I never showed you guys the CDs off of this. I think it does have the replica. Oh yeah, it has like the old school Columbia replica, or the same thing for disc 2. So I'm gonna show you that. But anyways, yeah, everyone always talks about this album. Everyone says that this is like the highly biggest Dylan album. And you know what? I bought this because, you know what? if I'm gonna get it, I want to make sure I listen to it just multiple times and just really get it in, because so many people on YouTube, and just so many people are just, they highly just rank this album so high, and people just love this thing. And I am so stoked to listen to the whole thing. So that's cool. That was from 1975, but this is the 2003 CD remastered version. And then we get another one which people talk about, and I got this at a bookstore called Bright Light Books. They do have a couple of other Dylan stuff. I think there was one bootleg from him, or CD, a single CD, and then I think they had Nashville Skyline on CD. I've seen that, and there's one more other thing. I completely forgot. But anyways, this is John Wesley Harding from 1967. Mostly because I got it for All Along the Watchtower. I know Jimi Hendrix probably made it more better, of course, but I got this because I was kind of interested. This is 1967. This was sort of a different period for Dylan, for what's to come next in his career, and I thought this is just kind of cool. The kind of just to kind of see how it is, because this was sort of a different, during the, different time period of him, and but anyways, it's off of this Columbia label here, but 67, he was kind of not heard, was never to be seen, because he was in that whole motorcycle accident in the summer of '66. So, he kind of came back with the greatest hits, and then, he was working with, the Hawks at the time with the Basement tape. It's unofficial, but it was like an album, I guess, that didn't come out until like a decade later, and then later that year, like December '67, he came out with that. And then now we're into the LPs. So that was all the CDs. So let's do the LPs now. So this is the other. So I paused the video, in the middle of the video. I think it was like 2 minutes in, and I forgot about this album, Nashville Skyline. So this album features the big hit song "Lady Lady Lay," and that's the whole Nashville Skyline, and the back of it is very, very cool, and it's this whole thing here written was all done by Johnny Cash, and the first song is "The Girl from North Country," which was actually a song off of "Freewheelin'," and they do a duet here to start off the album here, and there was a couple other ones, a couple other hits. I think I threw it all away. I think that was kind of a moderate hit. And then side 2 starts off with "Lay Lady Lay." Probably a really, really just great song from his. This was during his country phase. And, he looked very different. People were very shocked. And this is what the record looks like. So, I've heard definitely a lot from this album. Apparently Charlie Daniels was actually featured on this album. In fact, he was also featured on, I think, Self-Portrait, I believe, and New Morning. So he's featured on a couple of the first 3 of the country Dylanistic albums, I guess. So that was very cool. This was actually, my brother got this at I think from I don't know, they were giving out like free record, and he saw this and he was like, oh, Lay Lay. So that's cool. And I'm pretty sure might be a reissue, because that label, I don't know, could be a reissue. But anyways, I already showed you this one already. This is the greatest hits, of course. I've already reviewed it. I probably won't need to show the album or whatever, the record, but the back and whatever. So. And then I have on vinyl the Central Bob Dylan, which features pretty much all of his hits during that time. From 2016 this was released, but the CD itself was released in 2000. And this features pretty much all of his Big standard hits. Starts off with Blowin' in the Wind and ends with Long and Wasted Years. So you get stuff from the Freewheelin' all the way to Love and Theft, I think. I'm pretty sure. And there's so many great songs on here, like, of course, The Times Are Changin', Maggie's Farm, Mr. Tambourine Man, Sunbird Training, Hope Sick Blues, Like a Rolling Stone. Just so many great stuff on this, The Essential. And let me just show you, I think it's on the old school, old school Columbia label there. And it's pretty much the same for the other one, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And it also comes with a sheet here that shows you the track listings here, and also shows you when they were recorded or was released on. Yeah. So like Blowin' in the Wind, for instance, recorded in '62 and was released on the Freewheelin', and of course it was released as a single in 1963. So really neat. This is really neat, this sheet here, you know, just to kind of show you what albums where they're from, and of course when they were recorded and released. So I think that's really interesting. So last but not least, from those two other CDs I kind of showed you at the beginning of the video, all came from this box set here, The Cutting Edge of Bob Dylan from 65 to 66. Sorry, apologize. Anyways, this is the box set, the Cutting Edge, which features the 3 LPs and the CDs I already showed you, the 2 CDs. Apparently the track listing is pretty much the same off the CDs. And let me just show you you get a pretty nice thick booklet here, which here's the front here with this harmonica. I believe this is the front of the mono box set, which features the Dylan albums. The only Dylan albums that were in mono, which I'm still hoping to get. And I'm not going to show you the picture of it. Well, here's a really good picture of him, actually. So anyways, you get like this thick booklet, Apparently that the deluxe set, that's more, you get like 2 like booklets or whatever. It's really interesting. And then here's one of the records, and they're actually really neat. I really like the way they have this. It has the old school Columbia, and it comes out pretty weird because there's another insert, another thing that slides out, or I'm just going to keep it in. But anyways, here's one of the records. This one starts off with, actually this is record E, and it starts off with Queen Approximary, and then this side here starts with One of Us Must Know, which was from The Blonde on Blonde. Yeah. So the majority on this side is mostly Blonde on Blonde until you get to the Highway 61 Revisited. So these sound really good. I actually played one of these records before, or at least a couple songs I want to listen to, and they sound really great. Like, I was surprised on the sound and stuff. I thought, maybe it wasn't going to sound as good, but it sounds really good. I got this last year. Of course, this was, at the time I was getting into Dylan a lot. And I was like, oh man, I really got to get this. So this is neat. Really cool. I'm hoping maybe in the future I get, I want to purchase maybe, some other of his bootlegs, especially the latest one that he came out with, which, features, this era of Bob Dylan, and of course some of the stuff from Self Portrait and all that. And Self Portrait, believe it or not, it's actually going to be turning 50. This was the month, apparently June, when he released his album Self Portrait. But anyways, that is it. I don't want to make this video too long. The only thing, like I said, I hate to annoy all of you, but is that Dylan mono box set. I still got to get that. That big gigantic box set. Oh man. like I'm not like so like a super like fan of his, but you know, I mean, it's cool to have some of his stuff, but at least it's cool to have his '60s period, you know. And probably one of my favorite albums from his, definitely for sure in the '60s, is either Highway 61, which blew me away because that's an album I heard fully, and that's great. And Blonde, oh my god, Blonde on Blonde. I really got to do a review on that because I've heard a bunch of tracks on that album, and man, there's just so many. Like I said, great stuff. But anyways, that's just my short collection of Bob Dylan. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm still here on YouTube, so you guys can check me out, or, you know, hey, have a great day, guys.